Well, hello, welcome along. So we are held up in the garage today because it is freezing cold and it's been raining and is raining. So I thought I would do the next little modification. So it is the installation of pipercross air filter. So I've not actually had the tank up on this bike yet, so we'll just go through the process. But yeah, I normally go for a K&M filter, but to be honest, this one was a bit cheaper. I'd never tried a pipercross before, which is what this is. So yeah, stick around and we'll get the install underway on the 750 air filter replacement. Right then, so we have the seat off, side panels off, and the seat off. Obviously, undo the screws in the side here, and then take the seat off as well. That's that done. And then moving around the front of the bike, we have the little grommets in here, and then this side panel here can come off, but basically it just pulls out that way and like that. So that's what it looks like on the back. So just these captive clips, but it's pretty tight, and yeah, you feel like you might be breaking something, but it seems fairly substantial. So next up we'll remove this Allen screw, and that should allow the cowl to come apart either side. So that's what we'll do. So this side cover is actually removed. So as you can see, there's it pushes into here, there's actually a screw for the side here, and also these little tabs here on the side of the radiator. So the best thing to actually do is to pull this side out first at the top, on here. If you can get your fingers in here and just pull that out, it's really quite tight. And then, as you can see, I've already removed the plastic grommet out of there. But if you pull that off first, then it allows you to slide this bit down off the tabs beside the radiator. Right, so to remove the front cover off the fuel tank, remove the bolt out of here, and you need to remove the little plastic grommet out of there. You can't really see it in there very well because of the light. And there's another one over on that side in there, and obviously the other bolt on this side. And then that will just layer just to. There's actually Velcro tabs underneath here and here, like hook and loop stuff. So if you just pull that up the way, both hands either side of the tank, and then the cover will pop up. So there's a clip underneath here and a clip underneath here. So actually, if you use your hand underneath the front here, just to pull it back, there you go. You can see it just starting to loosen off there. But with a hand either side, it should be a lot easier. So the next thing to get the tank up and removed. So we'll remove the ignition barrel cover casing. So there's little clips in here, and they just push in. So you just push that side up, and the other side on here, and then that just comes up like that, and that can just be draped over the front of the bike, and gives you access to the two bolts for the fuel tank, and then we can undo those, lift up the tank, and then we'll probably look at removing the tank, give ourselves more space to get access to the airbox. The next job is we'll remove this little spring clip on here, spring retainer, and then we'll just move that with some pliers. We'll move that down, and then we'll take off this pipe and this pipe, and also we'll disconnect. We'll just squeeze that black connector in the middle there, and we'll take the sender unit off, and also the suction line off the tank, this one here. So you can just see there, if you just get a screwdriver in there and lift that down, this one-way valve should just come straight off, and that'll help us get the tank off. Okay, so now that's Now the two pipes are off. Now the fuel tank gauge is off and the suction line is off. We'll just remove this bolt, and we'll get the tank removed, which will give us much better access to the top of the airbox there, and make it just make the job easier. So there we go, pipercross air filter installed. Now just to rebuild the bike. So there we are. Here's one I prepared earlier. So that's all back together again now, as you can see. So filter installed. So I do think that the easiest way probably to get these back in is I put a little bit of Vaseline back on the little studs that go into the grommets behind here. I do think that that does help. Certainly helps getting get the panels back off again. So yeah, the easiest way really is to slide this on this way onto the little grommets on the little studs here, in behind the radiator, and then you slide it back up, and then you can push the studs back in on the side of the tank. So I think it it worked. Actually worked quite well for the rebuild. So like I said, yeah, I took the tank off. I think it definitely made it easier to get access to the screws behind here at the back of the airbox. I mean, you don't have to take the tank off if you don't want to, but to be honest, I thought it was a lot easier. I mean, it's a few extra minutes work to remove the tank, but in doing so, at least you can get access to the screws at the back of the airbox, which is, as you could see from the previous clip, it's quite tight there. So for the sake of a couple of minutes, remove it out of the way, and you can get access. You can get all the visibility that you need to get the screws out. But you could do it without it. But I decided to take the tank off because it just made it that bit easier. So there we go. Anyway, well, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next vid.